But I said, even if we renew the contract or not, the people should know kung sino yung mga Pilipino. And I will reveal all of them. I'm just trying to finish I will reveal who are they so that you can ask them, including the Ayala and Pangilinan, bakit mo ginawa sa amin yan?
Hello mga kadutdutan, welcome muli sa ating YouTube channel at mukha nga na hindi titigilan at bibitawan ng mahal na presidente itong kanyang mga nasiyasat na maanomalyang mga probisyon sa kontratang nilagdaan ng gobyerno noong una at ng mga water concessionaires kung saan sa kanyang huling pananalita o talumpati binanggit ng Pangulo na gusto niyang pagpaliwanagin itong mga malalaking isda pati na rin yung mga taong nasa likod na gumawa at pumirma sa kontratang ito sa pagitan ng gobyerno at ng mga water concessionaires. Malalaman na natin kung sino-sino ba itong mga ito at maririnig natin at malalaman kung bakit nila ginawa ito. Kung bakit, kung paano at sino-sino itong mga ito, panoorin ninyo ang talumpati ng Pangulo.
But there was this incident where I was in Davao and I have been reading and hearing the news about no water in Manila, both east and west. And so I was making calls and somebody told me in strict confidence that it is not true, there's no water. There was no water for 2 weeks. People were scrambling to get a few drops. And when I was informed that there was water, I really lost my patience. My mouth for cuss words. But I said, we will be flying tomorrow there in Manila. If I do not see water flowing from the faucets, from everywhere, I'm going to line you up and slap each and every one of you. And you must know that I was doing it almost every day in Davao when I was mayor, trying to discipline a city. And you can go to Davao now and see for yourself. It's good, it's clean, people are behaved, very courteous. Not because they feared somebody, but because all the 23 years I was instilling discipline and all other good things that come in a man's life. And Davao City now, it is the most viable and still today #1 in investments. And Davao has a local business going on very vibrant. Have been able to raise a sizable number of people. And that is really what I was going for, to up the middle class, to push it up. So that's how I did it. But here in Manila, because of that water rocos, I began to play in my gray matter between the ears. Because why is this like this? And so I'm telling you now that you know the imponderables of life. If I do not make it to the finish line, this is really my message to each and every Filipino. You know, all those times, many years, and even during my time They were always looking for the big fish, the corrupt people. And they would say, who gets prosecuted? The poor guy. Who gets arrested? Well, one of no consequence at all, or arresting the wrong persons. Well, you know how hard it is. I've been a prosecutor. That was what I was when I ran for the mayorship before being an OIC for 1 year. In all of my life, I was prosecuting cases in court. And so there was this statement of a statement that ordered our government to pay $7 million. And previously, I was informed that we paid $3 million. I said, what is this? And it turned out that in a contract, if the distributors of water, concessionaires, they distribute water, Ayala on the west, Pangilinan on the west, or baka magbaliktad lang. But still, in that contract, which was hidden from the Filipinos in 1997, there was this provision, kono, allegedly that I have to pay them for the losses that they incurred while waiting for the approval of the price increase. Not the price, the rates of water. And so in the meantime that the regulator and MWSS were pondering on it, looking at it, every day that they would lose in millions were added to the bill that we are supposed to pay. In other words, we pay for their losses. And so, when the bill was submitted to me, I said, what is this? Tell them, I said, I don't know. There's enough payment coming their way. And so I began to scrutinize the contract. And Harry is here. He will be one of the lawyers who they would be facing, maybe in court, because in the contract, they were the ones, the concessionaires, yung distributors, were allowed, the entity only allowed to authorize to increase the rates without the participation of any government entity except the regulator, which is or was, or the office, inutil. Ganon talaga. It was inutility. And, I am saying this, I said, because if I do not reach the finish line, for one reason or another, after this I am flying home. I have to see my family. Do not forget this case. Kasi dito, it's the blood of the Filipino, the sweat of the Filipino, that made them very, very rich. Another provision is that the corporate income tax, they were allowed to pass it on to the consumers. Kaya talaga, You know, when I say epithets and cuss words, they have really a meaning. Talagang galit ako sa... Sabi ko nga kung nakakaharap ko lang kayo, pinagsasampal ko na kayo. And I really do it to this day. Nang bubugbog talaga ako ng tao. I will not tell you, but plenty. All wrongdoings that would catch my attention, that has a significance, I call them to. I ask the PSG. And if you are really fond of extorting and you love money, one time I said, I don't carry money except the handkerchief and the balda pastil. And the one that I was eating, when my name was called this time to talk, ang isa pa doon, at yung the term of the contract is 2037. And in that contract executed in 1997, meron doon, in your bills, tignan ninyo, there is an expense which says, pinaganda lang nila, make it more a high-faluting thing, environmental enhancement. And we were paying, I don't know, you might want to, I do not pay the bills, it's my wife, and in my house there across the, I stay in the camp near the camp of the military. I do not stay there in that house. It gives me not really, hindi naman ako natatakot. You know, if you believe in God, you are not up to this. Kasi kung natulog ako minsan doon, sabi ko, wag mo akong isturbuhin dito kay marami akong problema. Putang ina, sipain talaga kita. And if you are a girl ghost, well, if it is to my liking, I will just embrace a ghost and know the difference between a real ghost and a real woman. So, yun ang they have been collecting water treatment by way of, sabi nila, environmental enhancement. Since 1957, nasa bill na natin yan. Hanggang ngayon, ilagay daw nila dyan sa Harrison that they're going to build a water treatment facility before bitawan mo sa Pasig. Until now, wala. So they have been collecting money from the people. Almost trillions na yan ba? If that is not plunder, what is it? If it is not large fraud, then what is it? Kaya ito, wag ninyong bitawan kung sakali hindi talaga ako aabot. If I'm not around anymore, do not forget this. Kasi every time, anytime, they would always itong mga opposition. So where's the big fish? Bakit maliit lang? With all the sarcasm. O ito, binigay ko na sa inyo, putang ina, mas malaki pa sa... Ito na. Ito na. Ayala, Pangilinan. That I've been telling you in the campaign. Corruption, what's happening down in the customs and there is just pittance. The big corruptions are the families, the ruling elite since the Spaniards. Sila yun, and they were awarded so many tract of lands. Yung Bacolod, pati yung, the feudal system, and until now is really very almost vicious. Yung may sugar plantations, because that were the large tracts of lands given by the Spanish government to the selected and rich people. The favored ones, the insulares, the Spaniards who never went back or who were born here, they're called the insulares. Sila yan. So, ganon ang dito. And I could not, to you lawyers, I could not just fathom bakit ginawa nila yan sa Pilipino. Kasi if you have a copy of the contract and a copy of the anti-graft law and you put it side by side, all the provisions, the prohibited acts in the anti-graft law is there in the contract itself. So how come the lawyers of this republic allowed it to happen? And that is why I said Duterte is always ranting. Yes, true, because gives me a nightmare kung why this thing happened to the Philippines. So do not let go of this contract. I have a choice. I have a contract that was prepared, a draft, and submitted to them by this time. If they do not agree to it, they're fine. Okay, I will take over and nationalize the water resources. You do not accept it, I take over and I will charge you in court. If you accept it, fine, but there is no guarantee. I could never, I said, there are so many millions of Filipinos, one might just decide to bring a case against you. Yan ang hindi ko mapigilan. Tanggapin ninyo, then maybe have a compromise. But then, I would have to address to the nation, Duterte, there is, or there was, or there is, or was, and is a continuing crime until now. Why are you not prosecuting them? We thought that you are a fiscal. So, what gives? So that's my dilemma. Even if we renew the contract, there's always the duty of the executive department, especially the president, to see to it that crimes are prosecuted. So, yan ang problema nila. Hindi nila pirmahan, mag-take over ako, I'll charge them myself. Kung pirmahan nila, maybe I will just, I'll think it over. But there is no guarantee that I will not, or anybody, any Filipino, for that matter, would decide to file a case against them. But whatever it is, please keep track of the contract. I have prepared one that has been submitted to them. Pero it is a long process. I'll be out in a few months. Please do not abandon this case. Because I said, if you are looking for the biggest, it's really people who take advantage of their wealth and position. Sila yan eh. Those tracts of lands, Makati used to be a swampland. they bought it or given it to them for free. Same with the donut and the Prietos. Yung may long dyan, they built commercial centers there without paying the government any single centavo for so many years because of their connection. Huwag ninyong bitawan yan kasi dugo ng Pilipino talaga yan. Huwag ninyong bitawan yan. Kung wala na ako, bahala na kayo. So those are the things that I have to tell you. Came here to exactly inform you of the state of but all others, you can relax. For our visitors, I see that you had a problem with the immigration. We cannot simply accommodate that number in just Egypt. I need, there's a lack of government guys who can receive the incoming, especially if the planes from different countries would arrive almost simultaneously. If you go to Naya or the Manila International Airport, every 2 minutes, my takeoff, my landing. That is how hard pressed are we in dealing with this. Pero ngayon, ano man, you use it, the electronic. If you go abroad, no need for the immigration. They are just to get the number and it will give you have passport. You just swipe in. That's all there is to it. Until now, I prohibit the customs from opening bags. Maybe for a reason, but generally I do not allow the inspection of bags anymore. Just like in Hong Kong, any other countries we can do. Anyway, if you try to spread away drugs, I will catch you. And I really do not know what I will do with you. The law enforcement is clear. They can arrest and they can prosecute. But me, if I'm the one there, there's always heaven and there is always hell. Make your choice. Talking about religion, I am not really up to it now. I'm sorry to tell you this because, I was studying in Ateneo, high school. Dominguez, he was the brightest until now. He's the finance secretary. And he's rich because he's bright. He owns Marco Polo, the brothers, two of them. Me, I finished high school in 7 years. So, I've never been an extraordinary. I'm just almost the ordinary man on the street. So it's almost 75. Since grade 1, 75. Until law school, it's 75. And my mother used to say, she was a teacher, Rodrigo, what is this? Is there no improvement that we can expect? I said, Ma, if I get 75, I go to the next grade. If I get 95, the same, I will go. So I do. Why do I have to study extra hours when a 75 you would get you everywhere? And true enough, yes. And even in college, instead of sometimes, studying and suddenly the urge comes and your idiot fraternity brothers would look at you and say, So we decided to go down Ligarda, Mindiola, in that corner. It's still there. Chilled beer. That is where we spent of my time studying the art of drinking. Well, when I became president, I can really say that the presidency is a gift from God. Why it's given to you? I was not given a Chinaman's chance to win the election. Maski kayo, alam ninyo. Well, somebody will baka. I was always number 4 in the rating. So nobody said, mahirap. But I just campaigned and went to the provinces with the limited money and had breakfast dinner with them. I won the election. People voted for me, not the military or police. But I like the way they behave, especially the bright ones. Pagka sinabi mo, you do this, they will do it. I told Anyo and Simato, do it in 6 months. And they did. And everything. Now, the problem now with, you must know, Manila Bay could never be improved by Simato. All he can do is to reduce the contamination. Why? Because there is no water treatment. Until now, all the wastewater are blown every day to the Manila Bay. And that job was supposed to be done by the one who got the contract of water, sewer, and sewerage, which is the 2 companies. Now, they're having sleepless nights. You would notice that you can't hardly hear a whimper from them. And every time that, and even Ayala would write the unthinkable of writing an apology and signing it. I have nothing against you personally, but you have to explain to the Filipino people why you did it. Yan ang ano pa. Just tell the Filipino, bakit mo ginawa itong putang inan to? That's what pisses me. Why? Because the violations, I said, contained in the anti-graft and corrupt practices are all there. And so the lawyers of government, everybody's trying to be a minimalist. They're trying to explain their role as minimal. But I said, even if we renew the contract or not, the people should know kung sino yung mga Pilipino. And I will reveal all of them. I'm just trying to finish I will reveal who are they so that you can ask them, including the Ayala and Pangilinan, bakit mo ginawa sa amin yan? Bigyan mo ako ng sagot, putang, pag hindi babarilin ko yung bayag mo, putang. Pardon that's what I am.
So yan mga kaduddutan, abangan natin ito. Yung mga susunod pang mga araw, malalaman na natin at maaalisan na ng maskara kung sino ba itong mga pumirma at gumawa ng kontrata kung saan napakadehado ng Pilipino at ng gobyerno dito sa mga oligarchs na ito o ng mga water concessionaires. Napakaselan itong bagay na ito. Mukhang hindi bibitawan ng ating mahal na presidente. Abangan natin at suportahan natin ang Pangulo sa kanyang laban na ito. Kasi muli, sa mga hindi pa nakasubscribe, pakidot-dot nyo na yung subscribe button dyan sa baba at aabangan natin ang mga susunod na kabanata. Paalam!